Hi, I'm Johnny Good. I'm the author of How to Make Masks, and this is just a short overview of how I made this mask. It's a display mask. It goes on my wall, and it was made out of fast-setting paper mache paste and shop towels, just the same way that the masks were done in the book. The difference with this one is that I added some paper mache clay. That is it's a material that you can make yourself, and you can find that a link to the recipe. It's out on my blog at ultimatepapermache.com. You can just go up to the top and find the recipe for it, or you can find it in my other book, Make Animal Sculptures with Paper Mache Clay. So this was basically a combination of the materials and techniques that I used in both of those books, and I think it came out really well. So let's get started. I want to show you how I made this.
First of all, I got some modeling clay and created a wolf shape. I actually used a child-sized mask form underneath the clay just to make it a little bit easier to find where everything goes, and also because it uses up a lot less clay if you do it that way. But of course this is going to go on the wall, so it didn't really matter if it would fit or not, and I didn't need eye holes. I kept working on the clay sculpture until I had it exactly the way I wanted to, and then it was time to start adding the fast-setting paper mache paste and the shop towels. And now I add the fast-setting paper mache paste with a brush and then put on dampened Scotch shop towels. These are really stretchy and really strong, so they can be put on there in only 2 layers. The paper mache paste will set up probably, well, with maybe 3 or 4 hours. Let's give it that long. And at that time you should be able to actually pull it off of the mold, that clay mold that we've made. And at that time you can put the completed mask in a nice warm spot so it can finish drying. As you can see, it's fairly easy to put the paper over there. The damp paper stretches before it actually goes on, so you don't get wrinkles like you might when you're using a heavier paper like this. And because it's stretchy, you can use a huge piece of paper. I went ahead and used 2 layers of this paper and paste, and that was all that's really needed. Now the paper mache is dry, or at least hard enough so that I can go ahead and take that clay out. You have to take all of the oil-based modeling clay out, or the oil will seep through the mask and ruin the front finish. So I go ahead and very carefully take it out. The more difficult parts are the deeper ones, like the ears, like I'm working on now. And of course I have a lot of help. Now that the paper mache is completely dry all the way through, I go ahead and use an old pair of scissors and very carefully cut around the edges so that I have all of the extra paper taken away. And I'll also take some sandpaper to the edges so they're nice and smooth. The paper mache covered over most of the details that I had put on the ruff, and I wanted that to be nice and hairy and really well textured. So I went ahead and mixed up a recipe of paper mache clay. You can find that recipe out on my blog at ultimatepapermache.com, and I just added that. As you can see, I'm adding fur all the way around his face, so he'll have a nice frame. And now it was time to paint. I put on gesso first, using a very old stiff brush so I could get a lot of fur texture all around the face. Put on the gray and used a golden medium so that I could have a transparent base. That really helped bring out the texture in the gesso in the fur, and added some nice golden highlights in a few places and those nice golden eyes, and he's all done. I rather like him. If you would like to see the entire video series, I think there's 5 of them in very detailed showing how this was done, you can come to my website ultimatepapermache.com and do a search for wolf mask. Thanks for watching.